What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. You may see the title of the show is the Buffalo Bills moving to Austin, Texas? If you can hear me clearly, loud and clearly, put a one in the comments and drop your city and state in the comments. I just want you guys to understand the trajectory of where this country's going in the next 10 years. And this is why I do these shows. This is why I educate, and this is why I am going to go focus fully on me and fully on my company outside of here. I got to get off this internet. I literally have every hour of the day since 9 a.m. this morning either had a meeting, had paperwork to sign, or had to go to the construction site in Round Rock. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Sick of it. Sick of it. Okay. Now, many people are going to say immediately, Erica, why are you posting this slander about the Buffalo Bills leaving New York? They'll never leave New York. Well, I'm sorry. You have the New York Jets, New York Giants, you have Patriots, among other teams. Trust me. Now, originally, why were these teams in these areas? Why was it so important to keep? Why does the Super Bowl have better numbers when it's New England Patriots versus somebody on the West Coast, specifically California? It's better because the ratings, the TV ratings have always been huge when they're in these two locations. When they're not in these two locations, for whatever reason, the ratings on TV suffer. And it's been a big issue. Like, why are the ratings suffering? Why weren't they so big when it was Miami last year? Even though Tom Brady was there, right? So what ends up happening is companies are going to want more games to happen when Tom Brady's there, or when New England's there, or when New York is there. Why? Because of TV time. Well, now we know it's a struggle for anybody to get TV time. Hollywood's dead. Okay, it's dead, right? Tyler Perry and all them are like sucking all the minority dollars. You have a lot of little individual channels. You have a lot of decentralization of power shifting. Now, you can look at multiple graphs, multiple charts, but pretty much every single investment conference I've ever been to, every seminar, every education, every training, even on multifamily, anything, you name it in real estate, all projections show the next 10 years, the Southeast. That's it. They showed the Southeast gaining steam, being where it's at, right? Showing you where the growth's going to be for many years. Even the towns on the boomtown list, that's all they got, right? So there you go. Exactly. Terrell Owens said the place was like football Siberia. Exactly, right? You have to understand that all projections say Texas, period. They say Texas, they say Florida. Even more so, I'd say Florida because of the weather, the constant everything. Jackson Jaguars owner, big money. A lot of these people have big money. And what people don't understand is, and what they're not prepared for, and this is why I bring on Diamond Dave all the time, the South is not even ready. When we talk about Atlanta not being ready for the changes that are coming to Atlanta, they're not ready. Nashville was not ready. The black people in Nashville were not ready. They are 30% of the population now. I don't know what the numbers are. People say, Erica, there's no way Buffalo will leave New York. It just makes no sense. There you go. A lot of Buffalo Bill fans in the stadium come from Toronto. Toronto, Canada is 90 minutes away. And Canada's been locked down. I know everybody says, oh, Erica, you just overlove Texas. No, they've been talking about when the football owners voted, the Oakland Raiders had a choice to become Oakland San Antonio Raiders, Austin, Texas Raiders. They didn't have a lot of choices. When St. Louis Rams wanted to move, they could be San Antonio Rams or Austin, Texas Rams. Okay. This is where they were purchased. This is where they were moving it. They were saying somebody's got to go to Texas. So every time the owners get together and vote, they either keep it in the New York area or they keep California. Why? For TV purchasing and TV watching Raiders, ratings and sponsorship. The country's moved around. The next 10 years, the country's moving southeast. The whole Southern Charm thing. Look at all the Hallmark movie stuff. All the shows are something about moving to a small Southern town or moving to a small Western town. Colorado, Utah, Idaho. This is the projection. Now I'm gonna tell you my overarching discussion for this was, I want to show you stuff like this. I'm gonna show you stuff like this. Um, right here. Let's share my screen. Okay. They keep saying if they build a dome, they'll stay, but let's just go ahead and break it down. $1.5 billion. $1.5 billion. Let's say that again. $1.5 billion. I'm just telling you, $1.5 billion. Can New York, Buffalo, New York, even though it's the second largest city in New York, after New York City, of course, can they afford to pay $1.5 billion? And you know that's not going to be the only bill. This is the same thing St. Louis Rams pulled. Oh, we really need this money for this stadium. We really need it, or we're going to leave. St. Louis been trying to figure out how to leave. St. Louis is a dying city. Now, here's what you're going to see in the next 10 years. Cities that are anywhere above DC, a little bit above Maryland, are all going to be cities that you try to retrofit. Again, the Rust Belt, the Midwest, Cleveland, Ohio, Detroit. These are all cities that for the next 10 years, no matter who you send there, who plays, who goes on the Detroit Lions team, nobody cares. These are cities that are retrofitting themselves. They are not growing. They're not expanding. They're retrofitting the city. They're trying to figure out how do we, okay, well, Detroit, we're going to clear out all these raggedy houses over here and turn this into a park, which really means we don't expect anybody else to come back. We're going to tear down a lot of this stuff, and we don't even need these other schools. Tear this school down. We don't expect the numbers to ever go back. All right? This is where it's going. This is the future of it. That's it. This is the future. Everything above DC will be cities trying to figure out how to retrofit themselves for a smaller population. When you saw New York subways flooding with that water the other week, and people say, oh, Erica, it's because the water and the rain. No. Do we go over Europe and their subway look like that? Do you go to England, any of these places where the subway is old? No, they're constantly working on it, fixing it, improving it, updating it nonstop. Why? Because the future of those cities functioning determines that subway. New York looked like they put an old school bus down underneath the subway. Here you go. That's what you have. That's all we can do for you. New York is, I know everybody keeps saying, Erica, but it's the financial, Erica. The New York is financial. London is the financial. Yes, New York is too. But New York has made it clear, oh, we'll send these offices everywhere but New York. We have an office that's in Chicago. We will go over there in a snip of a button. Listen, I've done a video on this. You can go back and look. When they threatened to raise taxes and take away protections for Wall Street, they said, let me tell you something. We've got machines in this office that the moment y'all vote that in, we will cut these machines on, and within 7 minutes, all operations will function out of Chicago stock market office in Chicago. 7 freaking minutes. You pull that, all that New Jersey's a trap. There's a video I posted in community time. You're like, oh, that's crap, Erica. New Jersey is in a nightmare of mathematical magnitude that they can't even figure it out. People started fleeing there to get away from New York taxes, moving up there to just move around those cities. Now the numbers aren't in their favor. They have lost more young people projected for the last 10 years than any other state in the whole United States. And still it has a plethora of people they probably want to get rid of. If you're inside my tax lien course, I even tell you in the tax lien course, don't even bother with New Jersey. I tell you in the tax lien course, don't bother with New Jersey shit. Like, don't bother because it's an old population. They're trying to figure out all these cities up north. And I get it. Y'all love New York. You love your cities. I get that. But I'm telling you, the future of those cities is just figuring out how do we retrofit this city for a smaller population. What we've seen in the last 50 years of America, it's always been people going to the city. This is the biggest time people are leaving cities. And when I mean city, I don't mean Charlotte. I don't mean Atlanta. I mean New York City. I mean Chicago. I mean LA. Okay, Chicago lost 3,000 millionaires. Then they lost 300,000 black, upper middle class, wealthy black families. Okay, so let's just go there. If you lose your black people that are working hard, owning stuff, owning business, and they like, what do you have left? Just gonna go there. Outside of that population, just that literally every state around Chicago, from Indiana, Naperville, all those places, all those cities around Chicago, around Illinois, however you want to say it, have gained population from that state. Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, all those places. People are fleeing those places and going where? North and South Dakota. All those cities up north, their whole future is how do we retrofit these cities to handle a smaller population? We will not have the people. We will not have the growth. Right now, the drought that's in the western states, why is it so massive? It's been going on for 6 years. It usually doesn't last this long because everybody poured out of California and went to where? Arizona, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, from there to there, all right? Then from there to Colorado, Utah. So the impact of an area that was already a desert, now having to handle more and more and more people, you're going to have those problems. Texas, I'm in Texas right now. It's freaking storming wet outside right now. I'm living in Austin, and everybody said, Erica, why do you stay here? The vibe, blah, blah, blah. Yes, because the water source is here. There are aquifers in every single spot. I went to go check out a piece of land. It was 11 acres, and it had a pond on it and a pond in the front, but the land was wet. And I asked them, how close are we to an aquifer? He said, yeah, it's like right down the street. I said, this is water land. Nothing will, if I build anything other than the house that's already on this thing is going to have issues. Right now, if somebody was smart, they put their crops there. Now they may not have issues with growing crops on that piece of land, but converting it to housing, there's a reason why that whole area hadn't been converted to housing. They knew it's too close to the aquifer. So there's water here in Austin. This is hill country. We have a second largest winery, blah, 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 after Napa Wines. But I want you to understand, this isn't a threat. I fully expect Buffalo Bills to be down here. Even if they say, hey, we're going to turn this into a dome, we're going to do this, they're not. They're leaving. 2023 to 2024, they'll be here in Texas. They may be in San Antonio. And I don't see why anybody would put in San Antonio other than the land is cheap in San Antonio, because I'm just going to say this is ugly. San Antonio gets bigger concerts sometimes than Austin because we don't have enough space in our city, honestly. But the money you'd want is tech money. And we have capital venture companies here. We have over 3,000 capital firms, venture firms here. This is the money you'd want. Tech money and venture. When they built that soccer stadium and they sold out of season tickets in 2 days, I think in a day, you're talking about people paying $100 per soccer game tickets. Then you're not even talking about the beer. You're not even talking about food. You're not even talking about parking. You're just talking about soccer games. So they already saw, okay, that stadium just did this. And every game is this. It's full. And Texas, let's just be honest, we ain't doing no mass stuff. COVID could go for the next 3, 4, 5 years. Guess what Texas gonna do? You to be doing the hold down and the shoot down, and so will Florida. Again, the positioning is on the board. Pay attention. Like the writing's on the walls, y'all. Let me look at some of your comments, because I know y'all probably like, Erica, blah, 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 blah. Again, let's see. An ownership source tells me Austin is a possible destination or threat, as one of the other cities elsewhere they had a desire for an NFL franchise and would pay handsomely for it. Can New York State, afford financially and politically, that's the key word there, a $1.5 billion plan the Buffalo Bills have floated to be paid by the state and county taxpayers for a new NFL stadium, renovation to the Sabres in National Hockey Arena. Minefields are as many, blah, blah, blah. Let me just tell you like this. Keep the hockey. Who cares? Keep the hockey. But that $1.5 billion, Austin does that every year just to the Robin Hood program for education to small nowhere towns. Why do you think we have these small nowhere towns with these giant, colossal football stadiums? Because Austin, Texas has so much tax dollar, they kick off this money every year, about $1 billion. So it helps smaller schools get more school books and teachers. And guess what those schools do? They build big giant stadiums. They don't improve the kids, they don't improve the buses, they build stadiums. So then you have to go bust your kids out in the middle of nowhere to go play a football game at this huge stadium for what? Before moving to Las Vegas, the Oakland Raiders tossed around the possibility of moving to San Antonio. Now let's correct that. The owners, when they vote, because they have to vote, said y'all gonna move to San Antonio. Not that they didn't want to. Like the Oakland Raiders colors were perfect for where? San Antonio Spurs. You have the Austin Toros, then you have the San Antonio Toros, whatever. The hockey team they have. They would have matched just fine. Okay. Buffalo Bills, that would have to go to Austin, unless they were willing to change some colors. Currently, Oakland Athletics and Major League Baseball have floated. See, Oakland bouncing, okay? That they have floated to move to Las Vegas during their stadium renovations within the city. So even Oakland A's are like, peace out. Because they know where the money's going to be, okay? It's doubtful the Dallas Cowboys or Houston, Texas, which, again, Dallas Cowboys are the blue, silver. Houston, Texas, blue, red. Buffalo Bills would have to change their colors. That's the only issue. They'd have to change their colors. Some way, somehow, they'd have to change their colors. I know y'all think that's not important, but it is, because when you walk around in Texas, it's very clear distinctions of what a lot of Houston fans, not that many Dallas fans. Dallas fans live everywhere but Dallas. Dallas dominates the ratings all over. See what I'm saying? The views the San Antonio market as the second home of sorts. Okay? So Dallas already has his rating. San Antonio, because it's so sparsed out and it's so big, it's very much spread out. That'll be the second home. But where do people want to fly to? Austin. So just going to say that. All right. Greg Abbott, when they reached out to Greg Abbott in the city of Austin and Travis County leaders, which we in the city of Austin have a bunch of dummies. So San Antonio probably would get it. He didn't say anything. He shut his mouth because he knows he can't say nothing right now. All right. So again, well, that's the thing. Anthony Torres, if you live in San Antonio and you don't want to drive to Austin for a football game, you certainly aren't driving 2 hours to Houston for a game, and you ain't driving 4 hours almost to Dallas for a game. Common sense would say, I'm going to drive an hour and 20 minutes, really, because of traffic. I'm going to drive an hour and 20 minutes to Austin for football games on Sunday, and I'm going to make an event out of it. Not only am I going to be in the city of Austin, I'm going to be partying in Austin. I'm a hotel in Austin. It would just make more sense. I don't see people, I'm going to just say this in a nice way. When I talk to tech guys in Austin about going to San Antonio, they're like, ugh, gross, San Antonio. Like, nobody wants to go there. I mean, even if you put a football team there in San Antonio, people would literally go right where the stadium is for San Antonio, maybe see the Riverwalk at Christmas and leave. Austin just has better. It's just better. We're better here. And I'm not worried about climate migration. You know, it is a bargaining thing, but New York is dying. That part of New York is dying. It's dead, man. It's dead. All right. Oh, God, I got a ton in here. Thank you. Buffalo has been dying for 30 years. San Antonio should hold case. I'm just telling you, when people talk to me about San Antonio, they talk about moving there because the houses are cheap. There's nothing else they want to move there for. Nothing. It's funny. It's just terrible. Right. Okay. I see what you're saying. It said if Cleveland's not getting a dome, they're not getting a dome. I could believe that. I haven't noticed that. I think, maybe because of the area they're in, maybe they've done some polling and honestly, I don't think black players want to go up north where it's cold. That's just my opinion. That's right. Same thing with NBA. They're thinking about expansion teams and the majority of cities are on the table around the Southeast. Let's just be honest. When they said Milwaukee Bucks and Phoenix Suns, people were like, ugh. right? In my mind, the better team matchup would have been Atlanta Hawks versus the Suns because it would have had that TV pull. The games that were played, they had terrible TV ratings. If you go look this up for yourself, don't take my word on it. They had terrible TV ratings. From the state, technically, but could it in the let's just say it this way. New York has 120,000 homeless people, like a huge number, right? And they had an extreme COVID lockdown. They had big money leave the state, so much so that your mayor of New York City was like, hey, come back. See, that wasn't an accident. Gavin Newsom did the same thing. When they realized that, let's just put it this way, they're guessing it, they don't know yet. I think 3.1 million people left California, either part-time or full-time. They're not done with the numbers yet. But when we see this in a year or two, we're gonna find out that's probably the number. When you have 10% of your state leave, people are like, oh, it doesn't matter, Erica. California has 39 million people. When you have 10% of your state leave and a bulk of them leaving are money paying people, yeah, it's a problem. New York, probably people are like, oh, it doesn't matter. You lose 1 million people out of the whole state. Yeah, that matters. I don't know why y'all keep thinking they can just keep passing horrible laws. I mean, Gavin Newsom knew he was going to lose. That's why they moved it from November to September. And they're going to have massive lawsuits on their hands because the people who pay for ad on TV, radio, those companies can't afford to give that money back to those people because Gavin Newsom, oh no, it's going to be the 25th. We're going to vote in September. What? That now has to bump up all the radio ad spend and TV spend to now. Let me just tell you how let's just give you an example. Kevin Hart was able to buy a billboard in LA and put Nick Cannon's number on it. He literally called and got it in 20 minutes because they're that losing that much money. So again, trust me, LA needs the money, New York needs their money. So the NFL owners have to vote, but they've already been saying that. When NFL owners voted last time, they basically told Oakland Raiders they could go to San Antonio. That's as close as they could get. So they did host them. They did, but again, I'm telling you, there you go. Buffalo is part of that. Rust Belt, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Buffalo, Allentown, where old steel mills and auto plants thrived in the 50s and 60s. This is true. I'm just telling you like this. It may not be the Buffalo Bills, but there will be a team relocate. They've been talking about this for the last 10 years. This isn't a coincidence. This is charts and patterns of migration and TV ratings. Dallas Cowboys get crazy TV ratings. They don't ever win anything, but they get crazy TV ratings. Houston, Texas, crazy TV ratings. They never win anything, but they get great ratings. Charlotte is the second banking hub. I know people forget about North Carolina. They always ignore us. So, exactly, they looking to leave. Oh, we got a leak in the roof. I should have known that was going to happen. Should have known that was going to happen. Okay. But yeah, the Bills have a great team to win the Super Bowl within the next 5 years. They've waited this long. They won't let the opportunity slip by. Won't live with regret. True. Oh, listen, South Carolina don't like nothing. South Carolina will burn the whole state down before they'll have to do some good decision making. Bethlehem Steel. Thank you, Mike Anthony Scott. There, I didn't know about that, but there you go. Anthony, if you pick San Antonio, God bless you. Because there ain't shit out there. I'm putting it to you in the numbers. I'm just doing numbers. I know people like you're hating on San Antonio. I'm just literally numbers. San Antonio is great for a working class person who makes under 50,000 a year and wants to buy a home. There are plenty of spaces he can go almost an hour outside of San Antonio and get a house for 150,000 brand new. Even 120,000, even by the military base. You can get that there in San Antonio. You can get that. A working man can have a good life in San Antonio. A military person can have a good retirement in San Antonio. There's trucking in San Antonio. Yeah, there's some of that. But every time I go to San Antonio, no matter where I'm at in San Antonio, it takes me 40 minutes just to go across town or uptown or, hey, I'm going to go see this girl house. That's not feasible. It's not feasible. It's just, no, sorry. I mean, just numbers wise, economics wise, if you say, hey, let's put a football stadium here, I would listen and I'd be like, who's buying the tickets? Football's not cheap. Like literally go look on an NFL website and look at the cost of tickets. Look at the cost of parking. Look at the cost of the gear. If they got to throw this thing out by the 360 racetrack over there by the Tesla factory, they will put that football stadium in Austin, Texas by that daggone place over there. Trust me, they'll do that. So correct yourself. Austin has a population of 1.5 million. Okay. Now go outside of Austin, the metro. Okay. The metro. 4 million. 3 to 4 million. Okay. It doesn't matter about the population. Toronto, Canada has the Raptors, but they've literally dumped money into the Raptors every year with faithful figure. It wasn't until they won that Jeremy Lin won the ring that you're like, oh yeah, Toronto Raptors. Nah, it's got to be voted. I know you think that. I'm telling you guys, they're not going to stay. They're not staying. Nabisco left too. See, good luck. Good luck, Buffalo, New York. It's over. There you go. You're tearing up legs. You're tearing up legs. You're tearing up tendons. You're tearing up ACLs, playing in cold weather. You got these heated seats, and ain't nobody want to be up there. Cleveland Browns, there's nothing they can do but stay in Cleveland. You are correct about the Alamo Dome. You are very correct. Big music acts do happen at the Alamo Dome. I will give you that. George Strait has played at the Alamo Dome. But when I ask you what working man making under 50K, which loves San Antonio, working man city, almost like Houston, where's he going to buy money to buy $100, $200, $300 tickets? Football game tickets. Then on top of that, pay for $50 for parking. Then on top of that, pay money for food. It ain't the working man in San Antonio. It ain't. Even in Dallas, their office salespeople go call businesses. They don't. Yeah, they know you're gonna come to Dallas games. They ain't worried. They made a very beautiful venue for you to come. When I looked to go get a ticket for $100 for the soccer team, and I'm like, there was only 5 left. I said, what in the world? Them tech people out there getting litty McLit. Just their companies are buying up package tickets. There's no season tickets left. They sold out 2 days, first 2 days. It's a money thing. It's a money thing. Now, if you say, and again, Anthony, they're not going to come and play in an already built stadium. They're going to build a new stadium. It's the money grab. The capital is in Austin. I'm telling you that it just makes Austin this mecca of expensiveness. Trust me. Yes, Pittsburgh. If you move there, you must be on your last leg. But I'm glad that you get where you need to be. Yep, Oakland's done. It's the great migration to 2025, really. Y'all gonna see all this stuff I'm saying in a few years when y'all come back and say, Erica, damn, I'm gonna be like, It's just on paper. You can see it on paper. Who moving into Minneapolis? Who? Homeless people? Go check the stats. Minneapolis lost people. There you go. There you go. You know, but this is the thing. There was a young lady we met this weekend in Dallas at the event, and her friend was in Memphis and was like, if I move, the only place I'm moving is LA. And in my mind, I say, LA marketing is so strong. This like Hollywood dream is so strong. The marketing has been going on for 100 years that even in this economic downturn, even with Skid Row, even with her knowing it's too expensive, she's like, well, the only place I move is LA. From Memphis, baby? You ain't moving no damn LA. Not from no Memphis, you ain't. D'Amico, I'm telling you, if you told me, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you said, even the people in San Antonio, they'd be like, oh, hey, they got dropped to Austin. But if you told people that we were gonna have a team, and in order to have a team, here's where the tickets are. You got to buy these tickets in the next 30 days to see the interest and all. They would sell out in the first 5 days. They would sell in the first 5 days. They would absolutely. They'd be sold out. They might be sold out the first week if you let Google and Apple do it, because Google and Apple gonna buy hundreds of tickets for their staff and their CEOs and the box steak. Honey, sold out. They would change them to something, because we have actual bison here in Austin on the outskirts. If you guys go type in Bison Farms, Austin, Texas, you'll find them. Cleveland will sit up there. They just put bags over their head. All I got is a coffee cup, y'all. I've been going since 9 a.m. I drove to Dallas, Garland, actually, Texas, at like 8 a.m. on Saturday. Sat in 99-degree heat. Sunday, went and ate breakfast with some of the people. Drank a ton of water. Then got on the road, went to Houston, which was 3 hours and 30 minutes. Went to Best of Both Worlds event. Got a piece of fried fish and some shrimp. Because, if you don't get fried fish in Houston, you didn't go. Get back in the car, drive another 2 hours and 20 minutes back to Austin. The football team should be in Austin. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? I'm a little tired. Smithy, good luck. God bless you. Nope. The package they're asking for is $1.5 billion new stadium. They're not asking. Listen, when the Oakland Raiders moved, did they go Las Vegas will play and whatever you got left? No. They were like, give me a brand new stadium from here on out. Now, here's what someone was telling me when I was in Las Vegas. They said, this is stupid. We're spending all this money for a team that's only going to play 4 to 5 games here a year. I said, oh, yeah. But what they're hoping is in the future that they get to host Super Bowls. New Orleans hosts the Super Bowl, what, next year? Somebody put in the comments, when does New Orleans host the Super Bowl? Put it in the comments. They host the Super Bowl coming up, and people are like, oh, my God, I'm so excited for New Orleans. And I'm like, I almost have forgot about New Orleans, right? Because of all the lockdowns and the virus really breaking out bad there, I had almost forgot about New Orleans. I was like, oh, yeah. Every time I go, though, it's real dirty. I'd be like, can y'all clean it up down here, though? Can we get some street sweeping happening? So after let's just call it what it is. I'm going to be careful. I know y'all hate me already. The outbreak that happened after the Jazz Fest and the Essence Festival from the pandemic, New Orleans was like, we shutting it down, okay? So there's just some cities that don't have the appeal for the Super Bowl, but they need the Super Bowl because all the money it'll make. Prime example, we went to the Moxie one day after the Super Bowl hit Atlanta. Literally, the airport was like shoulder to shoulder through the whole airport. On the bus, on the train, up the escalator, through the crowds, to outside. It was shoulder to shoulder. We get to the hotel. The hotel only had 3 floors done out of 6. And they said, so sorry, we got to put you on this floor. I said, well, why can't I be on a higher floor? It ain't even done. We just opened up these 3 floors so we could get Super Bowl money. So when people talk about, well, they should put a stadium here, y'all, ain't nobody want to play a Super Bowl in Buffalo, New York? Will they play a Super Bowl in Dallas? Oh yes. Will they play a Super Bowl in Houston if they hot to? Muggy Houston? Yes. Will they play in Austin? Even better. Much better sale. That's what it's a money thing. I'm telling you, Toronto has big money. But what has been going on in Canada? Excessive lockdowns. I mean, they're so locked down and they're going on UBI. Like for real. They getting ready to do universal basic income in Canada, like for real. So if I'm an NFL team, an American NFL team, and we can't even as Americans fly into Canada, that's a no-brainer for me. I'm done. We're done with Toronto. We're out. Peace out. Because you have to understand, these companies are doing this for ratings. They need the TV ratings to get the sponsorships, to get the packages, to get the Super Bowls. It's a whole deal. It's got to be a 10-year plan. It can't just be like, hey, we're moving here and we're gonna have this great stadium and we're gonna have new fans. St. Louis Rams knew St. Louis is done. It's dead. They have to get out of there. They were like, sorry, everybody, we got to get the hell out of here. Peace out, St. Louis. Oakland Raiders was like, we can't be number one or number two in this California market. We gotta move somewhere where we can be number one in the market. Las Vegas. This is why when people say, well, Erica, y'all can just go to Dallas. Listen, I live in Austin. I see more Houston, Texas jerseys here than I ever see Dallas. Dallas, Texas football appeals to people in other states that don't come to Dallas. That like losing teams and don't come to Dallas. Just the truth of it. It's just not. It used to be America's team. You know, Tony Romo was the epitome of the great white hope. Tony Romo, if he could just be healthy, he can do it, he can do it, he can do it. And he never could do it. Why? Because he's like Brett Favre. There was always something, a flaw to their ability. I remember being a diehard Brett Favre fan. And he was playing Minnesota Vikings, and everybody was like, oh my God. And they were about to beat the New Orleans Saints. And the people on the sidelines in New Orleans looking sad. The coaches looking sad. Everybody over there like, damn, we about to lose. This is terrible. And here comes Brett Favre with his own ego, his own confidence. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw across my body, even though every single football teaching coach, person, anybody says, don't do that. Because you can't see, baby. You are old and you can't see. And there's too many people doing this across the field. So if you do this, no matter if you're the great Brett Favre, somebody could come pick that ball off. And guess what Brett Favre do? After they know it's a shoe and they got 2 minutes, throw it away. Just toss it over here. Just fall down on it. Just trip on your own foot. Any kind of mess. No, Brett Favre goes, ew. And he's smirking as he does it. And somebody just, and I can't remember the NFL, the New Orleans Saints person, but they grabbed it and they were taking off. And the whole sideline just came to life. Yeah. Because the flaw was Brett Favre. Yes, he was an amazing player, one of the best that will ever live. But his ego got in the way. Again, you have to understand, some of this stuff is mechanics and some of this stuff is the person. There you go. Listen, I'm telling you. Thank you, Annex Group. I try to bring good stuff. I think, I know you say that, but the money, it's a future money opportunity. Hey, if you say so. Jerry Jones, yeah. I'm telling you, Mo, and the parking lot is full. People park a mile down the street and walk to the game. I mean, I'm like, y'all, I want to see the soccer game. I really just want to be in the stadium, but $100? I don't even care who wins. I just want to come drink beer and take pictures in front of all the murals. Smithy, they have always, the powers that be have always floated that we need something in Central Texas. It will happen. I know Jerry Jones is powerful, but it has always been floated. We need something in Central Texas. And the migration patterns. I'm not even talking to y'all from an appeal standpoint. I'm talking about the migration patterns and the money patterns. We have people from Hollywood moving here to Austin. The money patterns are here. And I truly feel like this football stadium they put up here, the football soccer stadium they put was an example of Austin going, see, big money. We'll fill it up. We'll fill it up. It's not just football. We'll fill it up. There's a black mayor, I think, in Buffalo right now. There you go. Hey, it is what it is. Ray Alexander, if you don't stop putting these inappropriate stats on here, let's go ahead and, I don't like it when you do the wrong stats. Austin, Texas population, 2021. Okay, so because Ray Alexander keep floating these lies on my screens, I don't like it when people do that. I love numbers. I get really picky about numbers. This is the Austin population. Baby, Texas is the future. Just go. Texas has road construction nonstop, year-round, during the holidays, during Christmas. Texas road construction makes so much money that you have companies coming from North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama working on the roads. They literally wear their shirts that says the company is from, it'll literally have some city in Alabama on it, on the side of the word, working on Texas roads. I promise you. Don't worry. We're going to keep doing it. That would be a good idea. That don't even make sense. The time slots. Exactly. But do we say New Jersey Giants, New Jersey Jets? No, we say New York Jets and New York Giants. That's what we say. We don't say it that way. It don't sound right. No way about it. Don't sound right. But they was going to do it. They were going to force them. So this is the thing. When you have these owners voting, I'm just going to tell you, Jerry Jones is getting old. Yeah, he got big money, but they're going to be like, Jerry, it ain't coming to my city. It ain't coming to my state. It's got to go over there. Jerry Jones getting old, y'all. I'm telling you, Sherry, I followed them. Like, I come from a sports family. We've had cousins play football in every level, high school, college. And one was supposed to go to Canada football, but he was like, it's too cold. My knee, I can't make it. If I go to Canada, even though I got this job, I will bust a leg and I'll be useless. So again, there's a method to the madness about him talking about Buffalo being cold. Good luck. Good luck. Houston's got enough of his own problems between its quarterback and all this other stuff. That's crazy. Tampa Bay Rays, they following the money, y'all. The money in Nashville is crazy. They're following the money. Honey, the South is rising. The North and West Coast cities are dying. They're dead, man. They're dead. Look, y'all not going to come in here and try to promote San Antonio because y'all feel bad about me busting them down to the white meat. Austin Bills sounds nasty. No one circles the wagon like Austin Bills. Well, I'm trying to put that on the screen. It won't let me. Hold on. It won't let me go back up. Buffalo Bills and the Toronto Blue Jays. That's wag. I'm telling you. I can't pull his up on the screen. It makes me mad. Thank you. Thank you. Please tell him. San Antonio is family friendly. Like I said, San Antonio is for a working person who don't make a lot of money. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But Austin has literally a giant stadium as you drive by. It's for the football Texans, but I'm just saying UT. But literally the city will go out there by the racetrack, 360 racetrack, cut open a big piece of land like they did, like they let Tesla do, and like they've done for the racetrack for the international money, because we got international money in this city. They will cut it out there on that field and they will build a behemoth out there. Honey, trust me. I've been in Texas 8 years now. Trust me. San Antonio Riverwalk is nice. It smells, but it's nice. The Cowboys ain't won in 20 years. Buffalo is a blue collar city, so San Antonio fits the bill for the fan base. I get what you're saying. Jim Hinton said I'm capping. My dad. Thank you. This is what I'm talking about. No matter how big San Antonio gets, it's a one horse town. Jim Hinton, the money's not there. You got to look at the political. Canada is locking down and going to UBI. They cannot afford this. They cannot afford this. They cannot have this go in the city. They will not let Americans fly in. So you're literally telling me you're going to get rid of an American fan base. You're not going to be able to come to this stadium. You're not going to be able to fly into Canada. Americans are blocked from coming into Canada right this moment. And so you're going to move a whole stadium and lose your American ties and fan base. Please get that out of here. Get that out of here. The move to Texas would reassure that kind of American, they'd have an American damn buffalo at the games, drugged up at the corners. Trust me, it's a whole different vibe. And Toronto's got a lot of gangs. They got old drug money out there too. People do move to San Antonio that can afford it. Like I've had friends leave Austin because they just can't afford it. There are several people who wrote articles and complained about Austin and moved to San Antonio because they couldn't afford it. They couldn't afford it. That's just the pain of it. And when I mean afford it, I mean people want to live in the middle of downtown with the biggest house possible. That's just not possible. Exactly. Kawhi got up out of Toronto. You can, if you go to certain events, you can. He's weird though. Yep. This is true. Listen. Not Canada though. There you go. See, Ray. No, Ray. Look at the screen. I put it on the screen, Ray. 2.117 million. Incorrect. I love some George Strait now. San Antonio is whack. It's fucking whack. Dude, I'll go to meetups and you will meet black people who are here. You're like, hey man, where you live? Oh, I live in San Antonio. You drove all the way to Austin? Yeah, well, I had something to do up here, so I said I'm gonna go hang out while I'm here. Man, it's so hard to find things to do in San Antonio. This is the number one thing people from San Antonio say. I'm not making this up. There are men on dating apps in San Antonio like, I will drive to Austin. Where you at? I will drive. I would be like, why am I going to date you? Because then I have to drive to San Antonio. I don't want to be down there. Ugh, no. Their Indian guy makes so much money. He's good. He's good. Let me see. Sir, we just follow the money here. That's what I'm saying, R. Jones. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It would be like Austin Buffaloes or something ridiculous. We would put a frou name on it. That's what I'm saying. The only people I know moving to Minneapolis is Somalian immigrants. And again, I don't want no beef with the Somalians. I'm just saying. Oh Lord, girl. Let me see. There you go. I mean, I don't gotta make it up. I ain't gotta make it up. Jim Hinton is cracking me up. Hollywood is dirty and overpriced. It's a vibe if you like tents. There you go. That's what I'm telling you. Right now, two YouTubers, Nick Bear and another guy, they bought like the corporate box over at Round Rock Express. It's a whole vibe. But they have food, they have the stuff, they have the drinks, because your job at any sports arena, and this is also for hockey as well here, is to call up all the businesses in town and how many tickets can I sell to your company? It'll be great for your company. We'll give you a discount. We'll do a corporate whatever. You can get food upstairs in this part. Like it's a whole thing. That's like a sales job. No, I think the Longhorns would love this because we would always have the Saturday, and then across town they would have the Sunday. Oh my God, Austin would be just drunk all the time. Austin alpacas. Oh man. Am I a fan of the Spurs? I am more a fan of whatever's anti-Dallas because that's kind of the vibe here. Whatever is anti-Dallas. You can always move. No. They can't do it around San Marcos because of the water. I know y'all think I'm joking. I know y'all think I'm making this up, but like we're an aquifer city and San Marcos is on that river. They would hit so many restrictions from a what do you call it? Geological perspective. That's why I keep telling y'all Austin because we're at the top of the hill. So when we say hill country, it's going down. There's parts of Austin that's super hilly, and also we're at the top of the hill country and the water's here. As you go down from Austin to San Antonio, you go through Seguin, San Marcos, you go through Green Hall, all those areas. Those are just water. I mean, they're literally a college, and then the rivers behind the college. So again, like I know what you're saying, I get what you're saying, but it would be Cal Butte, all those areas, too much water. They'd have to literally have like surveys showing that they're not building on top of water and could have a collapse. But we're a cowboy country. They would do something with that name. You didn't. If you didn't, so George, what the ladies in Las Vegas were complaining of was it's not. They were saying that that year that they first built the stadium, they didn't get scheduled. They didn't get slotted for a lot of games. So they were saying the numbers didn't make sense to them. But I do hear what you're saying. So 8 to 10 times is it worth the stadium that was built in Las Vegas? It's up to you. Exactly. They keep shoving it down there in the dirty, pissy New Orleans. It's ridiculous. Oh God, I would hope not. That would ruin the city. I don't think Austin could handle an Olympics for sure. No, I don't know what Cleveland wants, but it wants some confusion. Oh, Meadowlands, Meadowlands. Okay, I don't know what that is. I'll Google it. I said what I said about Favre, and I mean it. He lost that damn game. Exactly. I mean, that's kind of the game, isn't it, though, Diamond Dave? They purposely pick an area where it's not great, um, and they can get the land cheap, and they act like they're hey, we're gonna hire all these people in this area. So let's just clarify: San Antonio, 1.5 million; Austin, 2.1 million. Okay, watch out, Becky. Watch out. I just want to tell y'all that. Okay, just make sure we are all on the same page. Okay, anyway. Right? R. Jones, I was watching it with like the sad heart with my Minnesota Viking shirt on. Like, what happened? What happened? Exactly, y'all. You know what game I'm talking about. Come on now. Honey, if it had money. Thank you. Excuse me, I apologize. St. Louis lost the Cardinals and the Rams. Listen, Jerry Jones on that last leg, he be looking half dead now. I don't know how many times they didn't pull his face back. Sadly, it does. It does. I mean, I'm not even gonna front like we don't have an affordability issue, but we are. I feel like we're literally purposely being like, get out. I feel like Austin's going, hey, guess what? You can't afford a $4,000 apartment downtown. Get out. Get out. You can't afford a $2,000 mortgage. Get out. I feel like that's what we're doing right now. Thank you. Dallas is building on that road every day. I got to go back to Dallas this week, and I'm like, oh Lord. I mean, he really is though. No, y'all ain't in here talking Austin slander. Get up out of here. Y'all, we just had started having homeless people because California shipped them here. Thank you. Please tell people that. Y'all cracking me up. Y'all cracking me up. Austin, Raleigh is still supposed to build that soccer stadium in the southeast. They're not building it anymore. And that's the crazy thing about the city planner that's in Raleigh, North Carolina right now came from Austin, Texas. They hired him to help them. Yeah, that would be kind of tough. I don't know. Sorry about that. I meant no harm, no foul. Jacksonville has its pockets of money and pockets of broke. Don't play me like I'm making this up about Jacksonville. Y'all know this is true. Come on now. Raleigh about to go through it, but Raleigh's also doing the same thing. They want the broke people to get out. People with money and people without money are leaving. So let me put it to you this way. The people that are announcing to their accountants, to their banks, to their housing, to their realtor, to their everybody else they know that they're leaving California because they actually have businesses and actual real money in California, those people are what we count in the projected. The people that we can't even count are people who are like, hey, baby, we about to be evicted. Let's pick up this stuff and put all this stuff in our car and go to Texas or go to California or go to Arizona for a cheap apartment. That's the people we don't know. We don't know that number, but in the future, we will know. We will know probably close to 3 million people left. Good. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Okay, y'all. I gotta wrap it down. No, I showed you what was San Antonio. Don't play me. San Antonio have some big old women. Let me tell you something. I be like, oh, I gotta lose weight. I gotta get. And then I go to Houston and I go to San Antonio and I see women that's big with husbands. So I'm like, do I need to move to a different city? I need to move to Houston where the women is big. Because here in Austin, it's an outdoor workout city. They want you to be out working out somewhere. All right, but that's all. I mean, that's it's an hour. We're hitting an hour now. So listen, the point of this show was to talk about the projections in the fall. Again, I tell y'all always check out the Forbes Boomtown list from 2016 if you want to know where people are projectedly moving. This is where, again, I only follow the math and the numbers that make sense. I'll even look up Nashville population real quick. Nashville population is 678,000. So don't talk to me about nothing. That's all they got. They ain't got a lot of people. Okay. But yeah, this Buffalo Bill thing, this has teeth. This has teeth. Only reason I say that is I feel like if you read the news long enough, they are floating. They're floating these kind of ideals to warm you up to it so that then you don't go, oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? They're floating these ideals to you early. It's a marketing ploy. Don't worry, this is happening. Oh yeah, we're suing New York right now. They're suing New York right now. So again, for the homeless, shipping homeless here. So anyways, you guys, this is your girl Erica from the Classy Clown blog. Thank you guys for the support in the channel. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the Cash App from, okay, hold on. Thank you for the Cash App from Brianna. Yes, I think I said your name right. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. They could have. Anyways, you guys, this is your girl Erica from the Classy Clown blog. Thank you guys for so much being here on the show. It was over 300 plus people here at given time, 400 people. Hit the like button on your way out. Later, you guys.